Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And today what we're going to go over is how to knit stripes with two different colors. As you see here, we have used the stockinette stitch, which is basic knits and purls. So this tutorial is going to be very beginner friendly. What you'll need for the tutorial is two different color yarns. I'm using worsted weight yarn and the corresponding needle to whatever yarn you choose. You may want to grab a pair of scissors and a darning needle to sew in your ends. We're just going to be going over how to do the technique here. We're not going to be sewing any ends, I should say, but just have those handy so when you're done with the project, whenever you're ready, you can sew in your ends. So grab all those things, come on back, and we'll get to learn this technique. So again, we are going to be working in stockinette stitch, and that is going to be you're going to knit on your right side and purl on your wrong side. So you will need to grab your two colors. I'm going to be using blue, which I've already started out here, and then I'm going to be using this gold as my second color. So I have started off, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit more so you can see what we're doing. So I started off, I have 4 rows done of the stockinette stitch in my blue color. So I'm only going to do 4 rows and then do a color change. So I'm ready to do that change. So what I'm going to do, and it's super easy. Now this is my working yarn here, okay? And now I'm going to grab on to my color that I want to use for my second color. So I'm going to give myself a pretty good tail. That way I will have enough so that I can weave that in. I would say that's about 6 inches or so. So all I'm going to do with this yarn is I'm going to make a loose knot, a movable knot, so that we can move it back and forth. So let's make our knot here. Okay. So there we are. Not too tight, just so that we can move it back and forth. So there's our knot. So all we're going to do is move that knot to this part here that's closer to the needle. So let's scoot that on up. And I'm just pulling down on the blue. It's going to look a little bit clearer after I move some stuff out the way. And I'm just scooting that down, as you see here. So that's why I said don't make it too tight. And now you can make it a little bit tighter now that you've gotten it to where you want it to go. So you scoot that down. Now, with the yarn that's coming from your skein, this is going to be our new color. What we're going to do is move that to the back because we're going to be knitting. Insert our needle as if to knit. Grab our yarn. And then we'll knit. And it's going to be a little loose. Don't worry about that. But proceed as normal with the knit stitch. And that's how it's just that easy to change your color. And I'm going to knit all the way down. You switch from right to left. I'm a right-handed knitter. And now that's nice and secure on this side. I make the knot so that the yarn won't fall off. But you're not going to cut the blue yarn. You're going to keep that because you're going to carry that up and I'll show you once we get on the knit side. Okay, so now you're on your right side of your work. You purled on your wrong side. So you've turned your work and now you're on your right side. Now, if you have your yarn that's kind of wound like this, all you have to do is just follow it around and just unwind it if that bothers you. Okay, so now you're just going to carry this blue yarn up. So you're not cutting it, you're not doing anything, you're just carrying it up. So it's going to be available and ready to use once you want to start the blue stripe again. So to carry it up, what I mean is this is the yarn that you're working with, your gold yarn. You're just going to take your blue and switch it over on top. Okay, then focus here. Switch it over on top of the gold. Okay. And then you just pick up your gold yarn here, and that's your working yarn, what you're working with. So you're just going right on top of that. And then proceed to knit again. And that's how you just carry your yarn up. It's just that simple. So I'll go over that again with you once I'm ready to go back to the blue. All right, so I am ready to move on to my blue. So I'm going to switch it, turn it over so that you can see what I'm doing. And you see how it's a little loose here, which is not going to be a problem. As you carry it up, you're just going to give it a little bit of a tug to tighten that up. So that's not a big deal. But you're going to drop the old. This is how I remember it. I drop the old. Now I'm going to carry up the new. And you just give that a little tug like I said, and you see how it just tightens up. Drop the old, bring up the new. And now I'm getting ready to knit with the blue. And that's all that you do. It's just that easy. Nothing really to it. And that's how you carry up your yarn. So you're just going to do that for as many rows as you like for your color change. And that's how you do a 2 color change with the stockinette stitch.